Welcome back to the Style Center. So fresh.
Thug life, baby.
So you said you started your own tailor shop downtown?
Yep.
And what was the name of that? Is that where Rich Fresh came from?
No, not at all. It was called Patrick Henry. Oh, Patrick Henry Taylor, because my company at that point was called Patrick Henry, Taylor. So it's Patrick Henry Taylor. That's what all my cards would say. And so it was the same, Patrick Henry Taylor Dry Cleaning and Alteration Studio. So that's what it was. And I kind of set it up real cool. You know what I'm saying? You walked in and had, like a bit of a lofty feel to it. I tried to keep it kind of industrial feeling. It was cool. It was a cool little situation. Right down South Main.
Were you selling garments there?
I was only doing dry cleaning and alteration. So my first business, I contracted out. Well, not contracted out. I positioned myself as an outsourcing agent for dry cleaners. Because I was like, I need to start a business because I don't like being broke. And I don't like working for other people. So what do I know how to do? I know how to sew. Okay. How can I leverage that? Dry cleaners have people that need alterations done all the time. Great. They also don't have the capacity to hire and train and maintain a staff to do that shit. Great. You provide that option for them.
Yes.
Do pick up and delivery. I'm going to do the whole nine. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to get it done. Here's a wholesale price. Here's your retail price. Boom. There's your margin. You make money without doing that. And so I just pitched that all over the city, and I racked up a ton of accounts. So
at a young age.
I was 20. And so that was my first business, and I was able to, quit whatever job I had. I think I was working for my parents at the time, and I just did that full time, and then moved downtown, and that's when I saw like there's no dry cleaners around here. Like I saw a need for it, so I opened a dry cleaner down the street. Did alterations out of it also, but it was just that. It was just it wasn't creative. It was just providing service. But then once I shut the shop down, I started doing more personal tailoring. So I would go to clients' homes and offices, and then it got more like complex. Like I was doing, I was we used to use the terms like chopping something up. So I would like chop stuff. I would chop garments up. I would add all kinds of funky, crazy shit to them, and I would just do it at home, and would pick up work and bring it back to the crib. It wasn't until I moved. To New York and came back to start actually producing pieces. But the first time I ever made and sold a garment was in middle school. I was 13. So I was sewing at that point. I had just started sewing. And my class had this project where we had to create some type of product. It could be anything. It could be a TV screen, it could be a chair. But we had to pitch it as like a commercial. So we had to do a commercial for it. Then we had to break down like the cost, the retail, what's the margin, break it down to percentages, dollar amount. Boom. So we just had to do that. I decided I wanted to do mine on moccasins. So I found this moccasin, like this little leather moccasin kit, at little Hobby Lobby. It's like $7. You know what I'm saying? So I grabbed a couple of those, made up some moccasins. I stood up, did my presentation. I put a pair on. I'm holding the pair. I'm doing my thing. I'm talking. They're $20, but the cost is this. The profit is $17. The margin is woo. And that was it. I sat down. Job done. After class, I had like 10 kids was like, "Yo, I want a pair of them shoes, bro." I was like,
you were trending and didn't even know.
I wasn't a popular kid. Like I was like getting picked on and shit. I was like, "You guys serious?" Like, yeah. Well, you know how much they cost? I just told you, $20. And so, and that was it. And more kids started getting them. And I remember one day I remember standing in the hallway, looking down the hall, and seeing probably like 12 different kids with these damn moccasins on. It was just blowing me away. Like it was such a fulfilling experience. Like, did you just came up with that shit? And these kids are wearing it. Like your peers value this thing that you just made, and they're wearing your shit. The trippiest thing in the world. And then I used to draw a lot, and so they were trying to come up with like a T-shirt for the school, and they were trying to send the artwork out to some other company, and me and some other kids, like, we were like, yo, I think we should do a contest because some talented kids at this school. It's a gifted school. Let's do a contest.
And y'all designed the shirt.
You know, and see who can design the best shirt. So I did this cool design, and it got picked up. So now these kids walking around in my moccasins, and I'm walking around in a t-shirt that I designed. And I'm 13, so it's like, this is trippy. So I just remember feeling that, like, I love how this feels. I want to feel more of this. So, you know, it was a bit of a euphoric experience.
You said you moved to New York. What pushed you to go to LA? It's like you're doing your thing out there.
Oh, yeah. Starvation. So after New York, the market crashed in New York in 2008, and so I moved back to Memphis. That's when I started making bags. So, oh shit! I forgot I was hooked to this thing. So this is the first leather bag I ever made.
That's nice.
Yeah, I made this 10 years ago. I thought it was 11 years ago. It was 10 years ago. Because that's when I moved back to Memphis. It was 11 years ago. So it's the first leather bag I ever made. So when I moved back to Memphis,
And this is all self-taught, the bag?
Yeah, all self-taught.
That's crazy.
It's a one take, too. So I cut it, sewed it, one take. But I moved back to Memphis from New York, and I was tailoring my ass off up there, like some really crazy stuff and some really expensive pieces. And, you know, I thought that my skill set was up there when I was here, but when I moved, I realized, like, nah, you got to step your game up. So I stepped my game up. And when I came back, like, I was just used to doing this thing. But I wanted to create something. I didn't want to just be fixing stuff forever. It's like, you got to be able to create things, dude. You got a sense of style. You have a vision. You need to be able to articulate that vision and create something. And so I ended up on bags. It was like, it's a one-side situation. You make it, it's dope. People like it, they buy it. And so, and you know, I was a single parent. Well, I'm a single parent, but at the time my daughter was really young. She was 2 years old, and I didn't want to do the daycare thing. So I just figured I can stay at home and I can just make these bags and I can sell them. You know, I'll make enough money to pay rent and do all this other jazz. And I did just that. You know, I spent like a whole year just making bags, and it was dope. And
you had great success with it, and
well, you know, I mean, I had like marginal success with it here. Like, I mean, great success in the sense that women that were wearing Louis and Gucci were buying bags from me. You know, but I wasn't selling it for much, like $400, $500, $600.
That's good for Memphis.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's good for Memphis. But I knew, like, I'm making this with my hands, and Louis not making that shit with their hands. It's a machine. It's a bunch of people. It's an assembly line, and they're making that bag out of canvas, and they sell that junk to you for $16. But I'm making it with my hands out of leather. For how much? Less? No, it's not gonna work. And so
you always compared yourself to?
Always. I always compare myself to the top.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't compete with nobody. I compete with Tom Ford right now. That's the guy. He's the one that I got to put under. You know, I compete with Gucci. Like, my price points are Gucci price points. My price points are Tom Ford price points. So my customer has a decision. They can either shop with me or they can shop with them. And so my shit has to be on point. You know, my shit has to be at the same level of production. It's got to, you know, if I'm gonna charge it, it's gotta be able to compare. So yeah, so that's when I first started doing that. It's here, did it for a long time, and then I just realized that I wasn't gonna make the money that I knew I deserved to make unless I moved to another bigger market. And so we just picked the West Coast, and yeah.